Hello, Merry Christmas, welcome to the Wild Gut Project. My name is Carrie. This is the part 2 of a Christmas roast dinner, low FODMAP vegan kind of duo episode I'm doing. So if you haven't watched the first one yet, it's a chestnut, tempeh and nut roast, which I'll link somewhere. In today's episode it's all the trimmings, so potatoes, vegetables, parsnips, gravy, good stuff, so keep watching for that. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the potatoes and the parsnips. Let's go! So here I have some peeled and chopped potatoes. I'm going to parboil them, so about 4 minutes for the parsnips and then 5 to 6 for the potatoes. And I've put the peels in just because it gives them a bit more flavour. So meanwhile, I'm going to heat up the oil in the roasting dish. I'm using about half vegetable oil and half peanut oil or groundnut oil, and that's going to go in the oven at 220 degrees Celsius. So once the potatoes are parboiled, I'm going to drain them and then I'm going to put them back into the saucepan. Then I'm going to give them a shuffle or a shake so they get nice and fluffy, add some polenta or cornmeal to enhance that, and this coating means they're going to get really nice crispy golden sort of cases and they're nice and soft on the inside. And then I'm going to repeat that with the parsnips, roughing them up and adding some of the cornmeal. So I'm going to put those in the heated oil and it should give a really satisfying sizzle noise. Love that sound. So that's how you know it's hot enough. I'm going to put those in and try and keep them separate just at the beginning so they don't stick together. And then I'm going to make a bit of room to add in the parsnips. So tipping the dish on its side now, I'm going to use that little puddle of oil to then coat the potatoes and parsnips on top so they can all get nice and crispy. So those go back in the oven. I'm going to want to check them every sort of 10-15 minutes, giving them another shuffle, recoating them in oil, and that's what makes them golden all the way around. Also, if you're from a different country, I'd be really curious to know what your traditional Christmas dinner looks like. So here they are, golden, crispy, so delicious. And then here I've got a kind of bonus recipe. You can take some extra peels of the parsnips, pop them in the oven for like, 4 or 5 minutes, and they will come out like little crisps, which is just a lovely little garnish to have. So for the carrots, I'm going to dissolve this dark brown sugar in some boiling water. Add some salt and pepper, and then a dash of oil, olive oil, and some balsamic vinegar. And then I'm going to take my chopped carrots, I like to keep the skins on, and coat them in this balsamic glaze. And put those in the oven with the potatoes, checking on them, giving them a shuffle every sort of 10-15 minutes, and after about 45 minutes they will look like this. So for the gravy, I've kept aside the offcuts, the peels of the vegetables, low FODMAP ones, and I'm going to boil those at a low heat for as long as I have available, basically. I'm also going to add in the greens of a spring onion and a sprig of rosemary. It's actually really good if you can leave this to boil the day before for a couple hours. So when I actually want to make the gravy on the day, I'm going to chop up a sun-dried tomato and some black olives. And then I'm going to toast some pumpkin seeds, add in those olives and sun-dried tomatoes, saute them a little bit with some garlic oil. And then I'm going to add in that stock that we've made. And I'm going to add about a heaped teaspoon of miso paste, a tiny bit, about a quarter of a teaspoon of yeast extract or Marmite, and then I've got a bay leaf, stirring it about. I've also added in some chopped or dried herbs here for a little extra flavour. And then once you've tasted it and it tastes good, season, and then I'm going to add some water and cornflour mixed together here, and that's what makes it really nice and thick. So you always have to stir it for much longer than you think, otherwise it'll catch you out. And once it's nice and thick, sieve it to take out the pieces and clearly get someone to help you because I'm not doing too well there. But that's it, really thick, flavourful, low FODMAP vegan gravy, no onions. So for the cabbage, I'm going to toast some a small amount of chopped almonds, some red cabbage, sort of sweating it down, and then I'm going to add some apple cider vinegar, just a dash, which was out of shot, sorry. And then I'm sprinkling on about a teaspoon of sugar here, so it becomes caramelised, along with a bit of salt and pepper for good measure. And then I'm adding in some kale. You can have 1 cup of red cabbage and it's low FODMAP. So if you add in the kale, it just means you've got more leeway as there's no FODMAP present in kale. So 2 Brussels sprouts is 1 low FODMAP portion. I'm going to roughly chop it and saute it in a little bit of garlic oil. The trick with Brussels is to not overcook them. So a bit of salt and pepper, pinch of sugar if you want to. And then I'm going to add a heaped teaspoon of Dijon mustard. And then a dash of water just to make it a little bit kind of saucy. And these genuinely taste really nice, and I usually hate Brussels sprouts. So that is every element there finished, ready to be assembled. Here's the gravy, the finished roast dinner, it was so good. So yeah, if you're going in for seconds, I'd say go for the carrots, the potatoes, the parsnips and kale, just because they don't really contain any FODMAP. Everything else kind of stick to the portions I'm showing. And there's lots of gravy going on top because I love myself some gravy. So that is the complete finished Christmas low FODMAP dinner. I've explained the portion sizes, but obviously overeating on anything is going to be very likely at Christmas and also going to take you over that low FODMAP limit. So pros and cons. To be honest, I'm just going to accept I'm probably going to get a bit sick and enjoy overeating. So Merry Christmas. Bye.